What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Play by Play Tech. What is this, episode 38?
Yeah, 38,
I just
man.
had to think about it. Yeah, I said episode 38. Yeah, I'm your host, Max Chambliss, along my other host, Moandogg Gaming, the the face of Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh, I'll take that one.
I'll
take that one.
Okay. Yeah, what's going on?
Nothing, man. Anything with Final Fantasy VII, you know me, dude. That life stops when that game comes out. It's hands down.
No, they came out with a new trailer where they show a little bit more of the gameplay.
I'm not doing it. I'm not spoiling for myself.
I saw the one. Well, you already beat the game and stuff like that.
Oh,
They didn't show the PS5 capabilities as in like the 60 frames per second, the quality mode and stuff, showing the differences and stuff like that. So that was pretty much it. You didn't miss anything else.
I thought you were gonna say some more stuff about the Yuffie episode. I'm like, nope.
No. They only show what they showed last time, but they showed more of the Final Fantasy VII Remake, as in like more of the graphics fidelity, and then the frames per second and stuff in the photo mode where you can take pictures and stuff.
Yeah,
you can send it off to people. So
what do you think of those additions though? I think they're awesome. It'd probably be the same with 15. I probably never use the photo mode. I don't know. That's just
I would.
You do you?
The only reason I would use it is because I like I said, I got a new TV now. I like to kind of like show it off, and then kind of like look at if there's any issues with my TV. And so just kind of like those stuff like that. I mean, I did that with Spider-Man Miles Morales, where I took some pictures or I took some replay gameplay and stuff, and I like to replay it and stuff to see how it looks and stuff. But that's just me. I mean, each person is different.
Okay.
And everything. So what's been going on? You been playing any games?
Man, my life has been so busy. I mean, you know what's going on in the background. Just I got a lot of stuff going on, and I haven't really sat down or anything. Like, we got the new Xbox headsets, and I only sat down a couple times to use it. I think from the last podcast, I kind of explained that I was having mixed feelings because of how I was acting. I mean, but we'll get into it.
Well, we could talk about it right now. I mean, shit. I mean, like I said, I got it. I have it and stuff, and I'll say this: it was easy to, when I first opened this up and when I first started this, it was working perfectly. But all of a sudden today, I'm having connection issues, whatever it is. Yeah, I remember I was texting you. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I went to the Xbox Live support and stuff, and I tried to do a hard reset. If for some reason the headset won't let me do a hard reset, I just can't connect it. Every time I turn it on, it cuts itself off. It will stay on for a second, and then it will just cut off. And it appears on my Xbox Series X, but then it disappears. So it's kind of like, what the fuck?
So it literally disconnected from the software portion on screen where it says, okay, see, mine's didn't do that. Mine's did that. Okay, mine's was going in and out, and I had the whole static with everything in the ear when I first cut it on, and I thought it was because I didn't calibrate it right. Because I when I cut the headset on and I paired it, I put it on my head, and I was doing all this to see if it was comfortable and all this stuff, and then I look at the screen, it said 90%, and the message says make sure your headset stays still. I'm like, oh shoot, and I set the headset back down. So I thought maybe that was the issue, but like I told you before, when I powered down the Xbox and cut it back on, I haven't had the issue anymore. So I think that
Yeah, I gotta look into more. I was playing with it for maybe like 15 minutes, and I was just getting frustrated. I was like, I'll play with this a little bit later on where I really have time. I really don't know. I don't know. I think it's something wrong with the headset, but like I even did the firmware update, and I redid the update again just to make sure. And yeah, I'm still having the same issue again.
okay.
I for the life of me, I can't
Yeah,
I
give
can't
it.
think of what to do.
Did you get the warranty for it or no?
No, I didn't get the warranty, but I probably on when you go, and it's interesting. It's nice for how Xbox have it. So it's like if you're still because like when you go into Xbox Series X and you go to accessories and you start doing, there's a troubleshoot menu on there for the headset, and then it asks you to do these steps, and then once you go through, it's like 15 pages and stuff like that. After you go through those pages, then there is a question like, are you still having issues? And then there's a button on there that you could do a device service or whatever it is, and I think you could return it and they'll take a look at it or something like that. So I probably might just get to that point and just do that and stuff.
Okay.
Or I might go on the Xbox. Matter of fact, let me do that right now.
Yeah.
Go back on Xbox and just say I'm having issues with my
Yeah,
headset
I'm pretty
and
sure
stuff.
we're not the only ones. But I just hope
I
mine's.
can't be the only one.
Yeah, I just hope mine's
Yeah.
continue to work properly. And then I know it has to be a known issue because me and you already at the same time the moment we got it, either the day of or day after, we're having issues. So it's got to be something going on.
Yes, and I will say this. I mean, when it works,
Oh, it's amazing.
it
I
sounds
said that the last
it sounds
podcast.
really,
Yeah.
yeah, it sounds really good, and it's
Mhm.
like they really hit it with the actual sound. But it's like connecting it. The connecting part was easy, but when it fails, it really fails. It's kind of like it's hard to reconnect, and I do not know. And that's the part that I had the issues with. And one thing with PlayStation, I will say, I never had a connection issue
Well,
with
there's a
PlayStation. It's
reason
like,
for that though. The PlayStation has a dedicated dongle. It's not dependent on the
yeah,
additional software that's in the console. So,
and that is also true too.
hmm
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And
hmm
that's one thing that I don't know. It's a gift and a curse because I hate the dongle, but at the same time, it's kind of like it works and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
So with the Xbox and stuff, it's nice, but it's like if I'm running into this many issues, it's kind of like it's one of those type of things that you just like I don't know and stuff.
yeah,
So it's a gift and a curse because it's kind of like, oh sweet, I don't have to worry about any damn wires or anything like that. So I don't know. I
yeah.
don't know. Like I
Well,
said, I don't know.
again, it does have a dedicated dongle, so the dongle may have some hardware in it that helps with processing, and Xbox doesn't have that. So that's why I just feel like we need a probably a firmware update. It will probably handle all of the problems we're having right now. From
Yeah.
connectivity issues to static to whatever functions is not working. I do love the volume in and out. I love that feature.
Hmm.
It's just so quick. The PlayStation takes a while to load. I mean, it's pretty quick too. But the other feature that you told me about that I have yet to utilize, I didn't know you can cut your Xbox on with the headset. Like I am geeked to learn that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like once you turn on the headset, the Xbox automatically cuts on and stuff.
Okay.
So
Now, does it cut off?
it's
No, no, it doesn't, because I cut the headset off and the Xbox doesn't cut off.
no, it
Okay.
doesn't cut off. It just cut
Okay.
it. It'll be sweet if it cuts off at the same time. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like that's the other thing that I like and I don't like. I like that you get to turn your Xbox on by using it by turning on the headset. But what I don't like is that if I'm using this on my computer or I'm using this on my phone, I don't want to cut my Xbox on. So it's kind of like one of those type of things. Like I wish there was a function that you could pick. if like an if statement, like if and if or and stuff like that. If
Mm-hmm.
this, and then give me this.
Yeah.
Is it if not, then whatever and stuff. It's like the same thing. It's like I don't want my Xbox to be turned on unless I had another device on. If I have another device on, don't turn on the Xbox and stuff. So that's just kind of like my gripe about it. But that's it. I mean, but other than that, if I could find out this connection issue, yeah, I'll change my view on it.
Yeah,
and
I don't
stuff.
see
Until
it. I don't
then,
see it nothing but getting better from here. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are
yeah,
complaining about it. I don't see why this can't work. I mean, it worked when it
yeah,
works. It works, and it to me again because of the bass and how loud it gets. I think it's superior to PlayStation's, but you know, PlayStation's is solid. I mean, we haven't had an issue with it. You know, and to be honest with you, I did do a little comparison as far as sound quality, and at one point I couldn't tell the difference of which one was louder, which one was not, depending on the game you're playing. But I do feel that the Xbox give you more of a surround type of. It may not be all fully spatial 3D, but it's like a 5.1. I don't even know if it has that in there, but you can tell in the headset that it gives you more information with your surroundings. I can tell that. I can tell the difference from that. At times it's
yeah,
faint. When you're using a PlayStation 3D audio, I think they're on par when you're using the 3D spatial audio thing. But I think Xbox whole universal thing with using your headset, especially with the Dolby and all that stuff in there, it's just you could just tell. You could tell the difference when you're
yeah,
not using the spatial 3D audio on the PlayStation with a different game. You know, so so I hope, you know, PlayStation does more with integrating it and making it putting dedicated software in there for just about every game that come out. I don't see why they can't just do it for every game. Just create a team that does spatial audio. So when a game is finished, give them the game and let them do whatever they need to do. That's how I look at
yeah.
it. So, but other than that, man, another good subject, right? The Snyder Cut.
Oh yeah, man. I don't know if Zack Snyder. I mean, probably not. He's not gonna look at this podcast. But Zack Snyder, you did a magnificent job. I like I said, when the Justice League that Moan and I saw at the theaters, I'm not gonna even. I'm not. I'm gonna tell you the truth. That shit was ass. That shit was ass. But when this Snyder Cut came out, man, that was it. It's a totally different movie. It's like you see things that you're like, oh yeah, I remember that from the theatrical one, but this one, it was really good. And this is what I will say this too. I didn't when I was watching it, it didn't feel like it was 4 hours to me. It's like I felt like it was like, oh, like the pace was great.
You easily get lost in it. You'll look up and like 3 hours pass. You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the difference?
It was really good. I mean, there's certain things in there. I'm not going to nitpick on this stuff, but it was just like certain things like, oh yeah, they could have left that out. But it was just like, other than that, it was like everybody was fleshed out and stuff, except for a little bit of Aquaman. That's the only thing I'm not. That's my only nitpick.
Aquaman as a character, I think he's straight. He can do his standalone movies and they'll be great. I mean, the first one was really good, you know. So I think they did an even amount of space for him. He doesn't really need to shine. He has it already. If they come out with an Aquaman 2, everybody's going to go see that. You know, hopefully it doesn't do a Wonder Woman 1984, whichever the last Wonder Woman was, because Wonder Woman was supposed to be that, and I still haven't watched it, but from my understanding, it didn't even live up to the hype as good as the last one or good as the first one. So
and I don't know, it's just like what was one of the major changes for me was Cyborg. Because in the theatrical, he was just so god awful, and I was like, why are they not giving him enough time and like his time to shine? It's like in this movie, they did such a great job with Cyborg, and I was just like, man, this is like, it makes sense and stuff. Batman, I would like in the theatrical version, I was like, why is he so damn cheesy in this movie compared to Batman versus Superman? I mean, he went from so serious in Batman versus Superman, and then the theatrical one, you be like, you literally just say,
which was the Batman one that we used to see that was before we were born. Who plays that Batman?
I can't even think of his name.
Okay, well, anyway,
I know.
that's who he
Adam West.
Adam West.
That was Adam West. Yeah.
That's what that Batman reminds me of in the Justice League.
Yeah, It was so. No, it wasn't. I want to say it was Adam West. I say it was like a George Clooney, Val Kilmer, Batman. It was just it was such cheesy lines that it was just like, what was they think? I mean, what the hell was they thinking and stuff? I was just like, you really think that was a funny joke? It was just like it was so because you looked at what was it Superman, no, was it Superman Returns? Yeah, Superman Returns. That was the first one that Zack Snyder did with Superman. Batman versus Superman, and he didn't do theatrical Justice League. I said that's Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon, you fucked that movie up. The Snyder Cut, but you could see the tone in both movies, and then you look at the theatrical cut, you're like, what went wrong with this and stuff? I know there's a lot of things that was going on Zack Snyder's side. I know he had a death in the family and stuff, but it was just like, it just didn't make any sense because it's kind of like you see the tone that they was going for, and then you look at Justice League, you was like, what the hell is this and stuff? But no, yeah, but Snyder Cut is awesome. Even with the people who was just talking about like they wish it had, they don't like how they had those look like a regular old TV, not the 16:9, but the regular the box frames on the side. That didn't even bother me and stuff. So
yeah, that didn't bother me either. The movie was I saw that.
Yeah, because it's like I didn't. Yeah, it like at first I was looking at it, I was like, and then like as I was watching the movie, it didn't bother me at all. It was just like I was so focused on the movie, I just didn't care, and it was just I was so focused with the content. Like even Steppenwolf,
that was a great revamp of him, man.
Man, it did such a great job.
It could have been
like
no better.
His whole costume was all just. It was like alive. Like I could just picture it like Venom and stuff like that. It was just everything was just good about that character, and you understand his backstory and why he needed to get these mother boxes and why he is like destroying these worlds. I mean, I'm not gonna spoil it or anything. Anybody to see it and stuff, but you understood why his backstory was the way it is and why he needed to do the things he did. It made sense. In the theatrical version, I didn't know what the hell he was doing. It was just like, I came to Earth and now I'm taking these mother boxes. It's like, okay, why? So and then you go to Russia and stuff like that. So I'm creating this type of dome and stuff, and it didn't make any sense. And then you had this stupid Russia. Excuse me, I'm not. It's like you had this family that was happening to me in Russia and stuff, and it's just like they focus on them. It just didn't make any sense. That's absolutely no sense at all. As in, like, why are they in this story? Why are they focusing on these people and stuff? It was just all around was just stupid.
Well, do you want to go through the differences? Because that's what this article that I have pulled up here, it shows all the things that were different in the Snyder Cut compared to theatrical. So we don't have to dive deep into it, but if you want to see the movie, this is what you expect. So they still kept Jared Leto returns as a Joker. I can't say too much without spoiling. Yeah, this is spoiling it, so I'm not gonna dive into it. So I will. So what is not spoiling is that they did a lot of reshoots. Everybody knew that. So expect to see Superman with a full reshoot.
Well, actually, the correction is that they didn't do a whole thing of reshoots. Actually, that was his original version. The only thing that changed in the movie was towards the end of it, where they added Jared Leto to it.
Yeah.
Everything else was original, and that was the part that kind of killed me the most because I didn't know. I'm trying to figure out like what was Warner Brothers thinking and stuff. What was Josh Reed think? Like he completed the film. It was, of course, Zack Snyder said there was a couple things that need to be updated, like through CGI and stuff like that, and special effects. But he said everything was completed. It was like he had everything laid out for them, like the storyboard. But what the issue was, the movie was so long that the studios didn't want to have it. Didn't want to use that movie because they were saying like, oh, the audience is not gonna want to sit down for 4 hours. That's why that was the whole thing with Batman versus Superman. That's why I said I thought it was okay, but I didn't think it was great because it was such a long film. I
I
wish they
just
would have broke that into 2 films.
Yeah, I just wish that Batman had more of a fighting scene because we had already seen a lot of fighting with Superman and Man of Steel, so it made sense for him not to battle. And towards the end of the movie, that should have been Ben Affleck's time to shine. With they should have started him with fighting crime, leading up to him hating Superman, or put a little backstory in there. That's the only thing I hated about it. I had to wait the whole movie. What was it, like 2 hours in before we saw one good fight scene from him, and the fight scene was the highlight of the entire movie. I was like, man, like you should have had him fight, because I mean he had the little stuff right where they were kind of introducing him and leaving his symbols, and he's real quick and moving out of here. But I wanted to see some fighting. I mean, we got it at the end, but I think it took too long. Like whenever I watch that movie, I just want to fast forward to that scene. That's just me.
Yeah.
Fast forward to that and then watch it from all the way until they start fighting Doomsday. And then we're not going to even get on Doomsday. I mean, we talked about it long enough. To be honest with you, I've been seeing articles that Jack Snyder is going to be the last part of the Justice League. Warner Brothers, I think that's a stupid move. I really do. Granted, you're not going to please everybody. You're not going to please everybody.
Yeah.
But majority of the crowd loves this movie.
Yeah, because I was just thinking that it's crazy because you have that audience now. Because it said this is like it said they almost like it was so many people was watching the Snyder Cut that it overloaded HBO Max. And it got to a point that some people couldn't really see it on HBO Max because so many people was watching it. And it said it almost got more views than Wonder Woman. But the issue was it's a reason why it didn't get more than Wonder Woman 1984 is because I think because that was the first theatrical release that came out on streaming services, and that was like one of the reasons why it didn't trump that. But at the same time too, you have an audience that was just saying like, come on, you got Zack Snyder got the people, and so I don't know why Warner Brothers just don't want to do it.
I don't know.
They just need,
there's something that we don't know.
Because like yeah, it's something that we don't know. And then the other thing too is kind of like if Warner Brothers, like I said, I know I've been talking shit about you, but I don't care. But listen to me. If whoever hears me out in the internet world, if you redo Justice League, I'm telling you this right now, and you do a brand new cast of characters, think about how long that's going to take. That's going to take years.
Well, I don't think it's smart, especially when Marvel is taking another stab at setting up a new phase, right? I don't think that'd be a smart move. I think the tone is set with the Snyder Cut. I really do.
But this is the other thing too. They really got to think about. Warner Bros. Have to think about if you change the characters that people already fell in love with and already attached to, and you go ahead and change that actor out with somebody else and stuff like that, you automatically disconnect that audience from that specific character if you put somebody new. It's like you have to build these characters up again, which is going to take even more years to do in order to build the Justice League you think you're going to be able to make. And then again, even if you build that up and then you make make another Justice League movie, who's to say that's going to work? So that's kind of like that's the question. You might as well, I mean, like I said, the theatrical version of Justice League was terrible, but Zack Snyder Justice League was phenomenal. Aquaman was good. The first Wonder Woman was good, not the 1984. The 1984 one was like, and stuff like that. That was kind of like it's like you already have, and then you got Superman too, and Batman. It's like you already have your puzzle pieces there already. The only thing you need to show is Flash, which you was doing the Flashpoint movie, and I don't think you need to do a Cyborg movie, but you could put Cyborg in Flash.
Yeah, I think they touched on Cyborg's story enough in the Jack Snyder. I think we don't need a beginning unless they just want to do like how Marvel does a movie after to lead up to whatever the next big thing is. But
yeah, they could, or they could put him in, or they could put Cyborg as and get into Teen Titans. I mean,
I was just about to say that they could make a Titan movie.
Yeah. They could
Introduce
make a
Titan.
Titan movie,
Bring Robin into the mix, you know?
yeah, even the DC Titans Titans on DC, that's a great show.
I
They
know. I
did a great
actually just
job with
started. I
that.
watched episode 1. I'm liking it so far.
Oh, season 2 is so much better and stuff
Okay.
like that because you got Deathstroke in there, and it
Okay.
is so good. It is so
Okay.
good. But yeah, it's just like for Warner Brothers to it's just like reset the pieces again, the chess pieces again, sort of say
Yeah. Let's hope not.
that's gonna take that's gonna take a decade. That's not gonna
Let's
take
put it
like a
this way.
couple
Let's put it
years.
this way. The fans is what really brought the Jack Snyder out. Let's just be honest. The fans are crying out for
Yeah.
that, right? So for you to, well, I don't know if the same fans are saying the same thing we're saying. I would assume so because the movie was great, but the fan base is there. If I don't know what it's going to turn out to be. Like I told you earlier, if WB is going to keep changing and keep failing at this DC thing, then DC needs to take their resources to something else. You know, that's just how I feel. You know, I don't want them messing it up. Hey, how's it going, Foot Locker? What's happening? I think that's on your YouTube, Max.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I wasn't even I'm not doing a good job. That's my fault. Yeah,
Yeah.
tell them what's going on. Yeah,
Go
I'm like
ahead.
over here. We're talking about Justice League over here and
Yeah.
stuff. So we have I'm not even paying attention to the chat because I'm like I'm trying to look at this Xbox headset because it's pissing me off.
But you know what though,
Yeah.
again, we both have the headsets. We both had our issues with it, and it's like we have to wait before we make a final decision. We have to wait. It'd have been bad if you were like one of those top YouTubers, right, where you get these reviews and you start saying it. I'm surprised that any of the, or maybe I haven't seen it. I'm surprised that
What?
any of the top YouTubers haven't said anything about the issues that we're having with our headsets. I'm surprised.
That's the thing that's killing me the most and stuff like that. I am like totem pole low as in YouTube and stuff. And it's kind of like it's crazy to me because it's like I have these headsets, and it's like the first thing these YouTubers, well, I can't say YouTuber, these influencers will say it is like, oh, these headsets are great. Thank you, Microsoft, for doing this and stuff like that. But the funny part is, I'm not gonna say this person's name. He mentioned that there was an issue, but he did it on a very, very brief note.
Yeah.
He did it was like a couple of seconds that he said that. I'll talk to you to tell you who it was after this video. But I was just like, huh, you brushed that off really quickly and you really
Yeah.
didn't dive into it that much. It's like when I got these headsets, it's like I'm wearing a Sony PS5, by the way. But um but when I got these headsets and I turned them on and I got it set up and I got it updated, I didn't have any issues since I had them, but until today, this is where I had issues. I had so many connection issues, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me what was going on. So, like I said, I'm gonna play with it more. I'm gonna try to do a hard reset.
Yeah.
I know I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it tonight because I have the Xbox Series X in the bedroom, and if I start playing on the Xbox Series
The
X
wife
with
is
the
going to tear you apart.
oh, she gonna kick me in my forehead, dude. That was like it was
But you know
so
what
funny.
though, the
That
designs
that
of this headset, I do like it. I do like the cushion. I like at the top the cushion doesn't have. It's not one of those memory foams where if it pushes through, it stays and you start feeling the hard part of it. I do like that feature. Now the
yeah.
ear cups has that memory foam where it soaks all the way down, but that's to get that solid noise cancellation seal. I do like that. I'm not too much of a fan with the mic. I'm really not. They should have made it wireless like the PlayStation. You know,
Yeah,
like
that's
this is the
another
way to
thing I
go.
didn't like either.
This is the way
Yeah,
to go.
that was and that was one thing I didn't like either. I get where they was going with it with the mic, but at the same time, my opinion is that it's still a distraction when I put the mic up because I can still see in my periphery. You know, I get why they did that, but I don't think they should have put a mic on there. I think they should have followed what PlayStation did, and I don't like the part. Yeah, it's just yeah, it's like the mic part was annoying, and then I wish they did a better job as in placing the power button on a different area because it's like I
Oh, yeah,
know
it's
it's at the
buried in
top.
there. I just got to get
Yeah,
used to it.
it's
I think it's more of a
yeah.
finger memory type of deal.
It is a finger memory,
Mhm.
but I really don't like that button that much and stuff like that. This one, the only reason I'm saying I'm not meaning to compare the PlayStation 5 and Xbox, but I have to bring this up with the PlayStation is when it's on and off because you push it in and it sticks in when it comes on, and then you push it out when it's excuse me, not push, but when you slide it, when it's on and off. Those are kind of like the things that I kind of wish Xbox would have did, that to know that it's on instead of me keep on, because I had to keep on pressing the button to see like, oh, did I press it? Did I press it long enough to see if it comes on? And sometimes when I press it too many times, it cuts on and then cuts off and then cuts on and cuts off.
So it has a
It,
delay. See, I haven't experienced that. And to be honest with you, I don't like the slider on the PlayStation. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't like the positioning of it. I don't. I wish it was
yeah,
more on the bottom.
I get that. I get that, but it's just I guess the only reason it's like memory. It's probably like memory. It's
Yeah.
just the only thing I just know when it's on and off, and that's the part that that's why I liked about the PlayStation 5 headset more, is because I know when it's on and I know when it's off.
Well,
It's
there's
like
a
me with the Xbox, it's like there's a delay when you cut it on. And I think I kind of wish it was kind of like a switch, like a kind of like on and off type switch, like
Well, I think the reason
like
why
a
you don't know in particular is because Xbox doesn't have any music when it plays in the background. Sony does. The moment you cut it on, you hear the music from the Sony PlayStation. And
no,
for
the
the
Xbox has some music. It does
Oh, well, then
that.
I got mine's cut off. Well, no. I'm talking about consistent music. Because the only way you'll know it's on if you start moving your controller, you hear the doot 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 when you're moving between your slides.
Oh, I
So
got it. I
that could
got it.
be your issue. Like you want to hear something instant, you want to know something is on. Because the Xbox, you just get that quick, room, and then it does a beep, and then it's on, and then it's like there's no music after that. So,
Yeah.
but that does, if Xbox comes out with a feature to where when you cut it on, you can play music or you can add your own music to the background, that'd be sweet. I would like that. So if you hear me, Xbox, do that. I think that'd be a good move. I If you want my opinion, I don't know if it didn't one point Sony come out with two versions of a headsets. Last generation, was it like a Sony and then it was like a gold or something like that? Didn't they
Yeah.
have like an
They
upgraded version?
did.
So I don't know if they're going to do that again this time around with any of them. I don't know if people like the design or complain enough of how at the extent that we are to where they create like an elite version of the headset. So I don't know. I don't know if that's worth even the money going into it. But they may make, if things don't pan out, they may make a version 2. That's what I would assume. Version 2 of the headset, this is better, that's better, same price, whatever the case may be. Drop the price of this one and call it a day.
Yeah.
But obviously it doesn't cost either of them money or a lot of money to create these headsets if we can buy them at $100 price point with all the features that they got. So maybe I think that they may come out with a mid-cycle upgrade for the consoles. So that'd be a good move to release a newer version of the headset then. But
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
or just come up with firmware updates and make these things like super awesome. That's like the easiest thing you can do instead of redesigning something. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So,
you're right about that too. Yeah.
well, leading on to it, we're going to be back on the DC portion of it. But Gotham Knights got delayed to 2022. Did you know about that, Max?
Yeah, when you sent it to me, I was like, what the
You told me not to do that with Halo, so you better shut your mouth about this one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get upset. So yeah, I mean, hey, if they need to take their time, take their time. But it was just like they looked like they were so far along, and the graphics look really good.
I
So
believe they
I don't
were. I
know.
believe they were, but per the pandemic, and stuff like that,
I get it.
it was saying that they have to delay it. And like you always tell me, you rather just have them delay it and make a great game, or release it and it be a theatrical version of Justice League. So
Yeah, or like Cyberpunk stuff. So I
oh man,
mean,
don't get us started on that.
that's yeah.
I still haven't
Everybody's
cut
talking
that
about
game on.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
think the game is done, and not for PC people, because PC folks can make mods and make it a completely different game. So they're good on that end. I think Xbox opened up mods to certain games. If I can't recall, I think Skyrim was one of them, and Grand Theft. I think so. I'm not sure. I know about the mods on the PC, but I didn't keep up with the mods on the consoles. So, and I know there was a huge thing between Steam and folks modding and that type of deal. But I don't know. That game is only gonna live by mods, if you want my opinion. If they, once somebody crack into the software, make the game different, make it enjoyable, just like Grand Theft. I mean, I really don't know what to say about the game at this point, and it's still not getting any good news.
Yeah, I hate to say this. That was an epic fail on that. So,
is it an Anthem fail?
No, I wouldn't say it's an Anthem fail. The only reason I won't say it's an Anthem fail is because Anthem they promised that it was going to be like a Destiny game. Cyberpunk didn't never promise it was going to be anything like that. The issue with Cyberpunk is that the game wasn't finished. Like, it was some real technical glitches with it. With Anthem, it wasn't like technical glitches, but it was just like the game. It just wasn't enough content, if that makes sense. It was just the same thing over and over again. And it's like
So
EA
Destiny won
promised
everybody.
Yeah, so they promised so much, as in like there's gonna be this season pass where they had episodic stuff. It was like just like Destiny, where they're gonna keep on opening stuff and keep on doing storylines and so forth and blah 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 blah. And then yeah, they just abandoned the game. It was like, nope. That's exactly what it was. And so that's the biggest issue.
Yeah.
So,
well, hey, we just got a like on the Facebook page. Meech, thank you, big dog. Also, thank you for the 15 stars. I appreciate it, homie. Meech is one of my followers. He's been, supporting me every time I'm on, and I'm just real appreciative of him. Sorry I haven't been able to make content. I've been having a busy life in the background, but I'll be back on. So just be patient with me, big dog, and make sure you hop on that Outriders, because that's what me and him been playing. He's one of my followers. He's been playing Outriders with me every time I cut it on. So yeah, appreciate it. Yep. So, all right. So the next subject, I know that we don't really ever talk about Nintendo on this channel, but it actually finally made our way to us. So, the Switch report is going to use a new NVIDIA chip with DLSS support. So, the Switch,
I heard about that.
Yeah, the Switch has an old processor in it. I mean, an old GPU. Was it Tegra X1 chip? It was
the NVIDIA Tegra or whatever it was.
Yeah, and it was originally in the Nvidia Shield, and which is amazing. It actually plays PC games quite well, but I'm not going to touch on this too much. But this is an amazing move from Nintendo to be able to put a chip in there that supports DLSS. Then you don't need the workstation flow or the heart processing to be able to reach those high potential frame rates and resolutions. Even though it's not a native thing, DLSS is actually good software. Fidelity FX is coming out for AMD, or I think they're trying to implement it now, right, on the consoles.
So that is a big question mark, because I'm hearing. So I heard that Xbox didn't. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going off of resources. It's two different conflicting information. So my understanding is that Xbox did not. You know what? Take that back. They have. I'm thinking about the Infinity Cache. I'm thinking about something totally different.
No, the Infinity Cache is
it's different. It's to do with the RAM.
Yes.
And stuff. So yeah. So sorry about that. Okay, no. Yes. So yeah. I lost my train of thought. On the Xbox Series X, yes, and the Xbox Series S, yes, they are going to take advantage of the new AMD Fidelity, the super sampling. PlayStation 5, on the other hand, I don't think they have that, and the reason being is because found out it's not really RDNA 2 that they
It's
have
a
there. They
hybrid
had the
system.
RDNA. It's the hybrid system, and then I think Sony is doing their own checkerboard rendering, which they already have their own sampling, which is really good and stuff. It's not bad at all and stuff, but they're not using kind of like the GPU sampling. They using their own proprietary system. So I don't know, but I mean for Nintendo to do that, I think it's good. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah,
because it's like NVIDIA. Oh, go ahead.
No, I just see the potential for Nintendo. It allows them to bring more of the high demanding AAA titles to a handheld game. So I mean that's amazing for you to be able to. Well, let's just say if Cyberpunk came out on it, you'd be able to utilize the frame rates and the graphics without putting stress on the hardware.
Yeah, see, that's the one thing about it. I will if they update that was the only thing the reason why I didn't buy a Switch. It's just like I don't care how fun the game were. It's just I just couldn't get over the graphics of the fact that it was just a little bit above the Xbox One. No, yeah, it was just a little bit better than the Xbox One and the PS4. Not the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One. It was just a tad bit better or on the same level. And that was where I was just like, no, I take that
I don't
back.
know. I'm mixed about that.
Actually, I think it was lesser. I think it was like a PS3 or an Xbox 360.
Right,
It was just a little bit better than
like a PS Vita. That's what it was.
Yeah.
The Tegra 1, remember that came out. When did the NVIDIA Shield come out? Like 2016 or something? And because they revived it 3 times, so it may be before that. That's an old chip, man. Matter of fact, that came out right after the tablet version of the Shield, which uses the Tegra K1. And then the Tegra X came out. Yeah, that was a long time. That thing's old, but the chip advanced, right? So and they were able to use it in the small form factor. When you have that small form factor like that with the resolution, you don't really put too much stress on it until you blow the image up and put it 1080p when you dock it. But I don't remember if the dock had extra hardware in it to. You know what it does, because it makes it process up to 1080 when you dock it. So it had help. It wasn't all just the Tegra X1, so it had help. It had help with it. I bought the Switch because of the whole gimmicky on the go thing. I'm always about on the go cloud and that type of stuff. And it worked until it was doing that PlayStation 5 where features should be on here. For an example, hint, hint, wink, wink, hard drive, NVMe on PlayStation 5. For example, the messaging thing or the Nintendo Online thing. Like the messaging thing is so stupid with Nintendo. You got a wireless gaming console, but you have to chat on your phone. How are they able to do it with PSP? How are they able to do it with the Vita when they were online gaming? Like, that makes no sense to me. And then the whole messaging thing,
online stuff is not great. It's like all that stuff is not intuitive at all.
Yeah, so that threw me off. And I mean, the only games I really played, I beat Mario Odyssey. I played Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I played Super Smash Brothers. And then after that, and I beat Zelda, the whatever the newest one that's on here. And I was done with it after that.
Windbreaker or whatever it was.
Yeah, and I was done with it. And they were really good games, to be honest with you. Even though Zelda is a repeated story from here and there, or a revamped story or something else, this Zelda was actually pretty good. It kind of reminds me of Ocarina of Time, because Ocarina of Time was amazing on 64. But that was the only reason why I bought it. And then literally and all the retro games that comes when you get the subscription for it. You get the Nintendo and you get the Super Nintendo where you don't have to buy the classic or spend extra with however much it costs. But other than that, man, I stopped playing it. I stopped playing it when, because I had all 3 consoles, and PlayStation was getting all the love last generation. I barely played my Xbox like that. And I didn't play Xbox like that until I got Game Pass. When I got Game Pass, I was all Xbox after that. So
yeah.
Excuse me. Well, anyway, long story short, I got rid of Nintendo finally. The reason why I would feel bad about it is because there's never been a point in time where I never had all the systems at one point. And then this was the first time I gave up one of them because I wasn't doing nothing with. And I guess because I'm getting older, I'm maturing more, and it's just money sitting there. $300 for a console, and then all these games that I bought, and I'm not doing nothing with it. So I just made up my mind. I said, all right, I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm not using it. It's collecting dust. Eventually, dust is gonna get in. It's gonna destroy it. That's just how I think. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, but if you didn't get I think you bought the Wii U. That was your last thing that you bought.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, it was a Wii U or the Wii. I took it back like that week. I didn't like it and stuff like that. I didn't care for the nunchucks that much and stuff. It was fun for a hot second, like the whole tennis and the golf and stuff.
Yeah.
But you get bored of it real quick.
The gimmicky it runs out fast. Real gimmicky, and it runs out really fast. Once you get used to the hardware and get used to the motion sensing and all that, even with the Wii U with the whole second screen and you can throw stuff at the TV with it. There's only so much. I tell people all the time, you come out with this new technology, there's only so much you can do with it, and then it just becomes at the back of everyone's head. Remember the whole big promotion thing with the PlayStation Move? Look how that turned out. The what was the other thing with Xbox? The Illumination Room. That was big news, and that never came to fruition. So it's just it's a time and place for everything. VR came out about 4 or 5 times, and then all of a sudden now it's one of those top things that everybody wants. So it's time and place when you come out with new stuff like that, or new ways of doing things, or if you're on a good roll, then you can introduce something new, but hopefully it works well. So that's just my take on it. Yeah. That's just my take. All right, so Max, you just released a new video, man, about your TV.
Oh yeah, I got the Sony A90J. I got a 55-inch HDMI 2.1 4K 120. Yeah. Okay. So I only had a TV. It'll be what's the day when? It'll be officially a week tomorrow. So
man, it's been that fast, huh?
Yeah, it's been that fast.
Okay.
So far, I'll say this. I watch movies, streaming services, Netflix, Vudu, Hulu, Apple TV, Disney Plus. So I did pretty much all the streaming stuff. The picture is beautiful. I'm not gonna, and it's bright. I mean, it's really bright and stuff.
There's
and
Max
I'm
video,
not saying
y'all.
like over. It's not the oh yeah, you always like to show that, but it's not like the overall. It's not like the overall picture is bright, but it's like certain specular highlights. Like let's just say someone's holding a torch or something like that. Sony somehow, whatever their chip is doing, is making that specific area so bright and stuff like it. Like even that's what I have right now, the Sony A9F. That was back in that's in my living room, and then this new one. But the going back to the specular highlights on it and stuff, it's so bright that it just like it amazes me because it's like I'm looking at HD again for the first time, and it's like the picture is really that good. However, when I'm going to the game, which I play, I haven't really tested it as much as I should be, but somebody commented on my video, asked me, say, hey, can you test gaming on the Xbox Series X? Because I see some serious color banding on it. And so I was just like, really? And stuff. So I looked at the forums. I followed like ABS forums and stuff. And it was like multiple people was running to the same thing. So I was like, all right, let me try it. So I tried it. And sure enough, I was seeing color banding and stuff. And people don't know what color banding is. It's like if you look up in the sky, this is the best way I could describe it. You'll see like a difference when it comes to color in the sky and stuff. It's like you see the blues start to separate from each other, and you can see like literally banding and stuff. And I was like, I looked at it, I was like, what the fuck is this? And it only happens at 4K 120 and stuff. If I put it at 4K 60, I don't see it and stuff. So I was playing Destiny 2, Call of Duty. I really didn't see it that much. Call of Duty Cold War, and Forza I did see it. And what was it? In Halo. So 3 games I did see it on. I see it on Halo Master Chief Collection. I saw it in Destiny 2, and I also saw it in Forza Horizon. But Call of Duty, I didn't see it that much.
Okay.
So that's a good thing. So those are the 4 games that I did play.
So is this a developer thing?
So this is what my research has shown. So some person posted on the Sony forum saying that Sony is not the only one who's running into this issue. They think it's a console issue. They think it's the Xbox issue and not the Sony issue. So when I looked it up, LG TVs were having the same issue.
The new
And
G1 is
said
having
that,
the same one?
well, the CX, the one that
Okay,
came out
CX.
last year.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the C10. So they're saying it was running to the same. The person who posted it was a LG owner, and he said he was having severe color banding on the Xbox Series X. Period. He said when he's playing only 4K 120. And so I was like, when I was reading it, it was like exactly what I'm going through on my Sony A90J. So people were saying like it got to be the console because they say they really don't see it on the PlayStation 5. So So at this point, I think it may be I think it is a console issue. But then when I went back online and stuff, people were saying like, no, I tried it with another TV and it looks good. So it's like at this point, it could be a TV, it could be a console issue. But I just got a comment today, and it told me that on my settings on my Xbox Series X, I need to take off the chroma sampling. I had it at
Chroma super sampling.
4222.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this I have to uncheck that, and then I had to also update from 10-bit to 8-bit. I want to try that and see if that works. If that works, then that may solve the issue. And then I'll of course I'll post another video. But what I find it kind of interesting is that everybody gave this TV high praise, which is rightfully so. If you're watching this for movies, this is one of the top TVs I think I ever seen. But when it comes to gaming, and this is where people don't know about, but the TV just came out, so I can't fight these people. Those are the aspect that they really need to look at. So that's why I told people in my preliminary review, if you're buying this TV for gaming, I think you should hold off on this and wait until everything get ironed out, because it doesn't have VRR on there either. It has 4K 120 and ALLM. They're saying they don't have, but the thing is, Sony, even on my old Sony TV, I think it does. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the ALLM, auto low latency, it switches automatically to game mode on my Sony A9F, and it does the same thing on the Sony A90J. So that's the ALLM that people are talking about. So it automatically goes into the auto low latency mode that it's supposed to. So, but Sony is not saying that they have it yet. The VRR is the only thing that is missing from the TV. But I don't think that's a really, really big issue right now, because I haven't seen games with tearing stuff for that Assassin's Creed that we talked about. But 4K 120, I think, is the most important to me at this time. VRR, they just need, like I said, have them take their time. As long as they get it right, I'll be happy with it. But the 4K 120 is working pretty good. No issues there. It's just the color banding. That's why I just have to figure that out.
Okay.
Stuff. So
I'm actually inquiring the 65-inch of the Sony TV. I've been hearing the LG G1. They said the Sony one is better. They've already doing comparisons for it.
Yeah, that thing is. I'm like Moan. I'm not even like joking. It's like it's really bright and stuff. I will say it is the brightest OLED I think I ever seen and stuff. Of course, LCD TV. See, the difference is when it comes to OLED and LCD TVs, there's a different type of brightness because it's a different type of technology. When you look at an OLED and then you look at an LCD compared to it, and I think I even did a comparison between a 900H and then the Sony A90J next to each other, and the A90J looks brighter, to my opinion, than the 900H and stuff. And so that's the LED TV.
The processing for the Sonys, like their processors are amazing. Their regular LCDs, it sometimes either compares to or blows out of the water the QLEDs, and it's just amazing to see.
Oh man, it's like and this is where it comes down, and that's why I've been telling, because people keep on telling me, would you recommend this TV for gaming, and it's kind of hard for me to say because I haven't done enough testing on it. But I'm more of a movie person and watch content than I do video games. Don't get me wrong, I play a lot of video games, but I'm not the type of person to play video games like at 4K 120, like what you play, like Call of Duty. I really don't play Call of Duty that much. I play Destiny every now and then. I used to play Destiny a lot, but when Halo comes out, I want to play it at 4K 120. Yeah, like I said, that's a different story. But all the other games are like single player games, like 4K 60. Pretty much all those games are 4K 60. Like the Avengers, I could play it at 4K 60. But it's just the thing is that the point that I'm trying to make is that I will take picture quality than gaming.
Yes.
That's just my opinion.
Mine's is refresh rate.
Yeah, yours is refresh rate. Everybody have their own opinion when it comes to buying. It's just like the monitor. Like I have a Samsung G7 monitor that is, well, on your screen, probably on your it's my left, but on people's viewing is their right. But I have a G7 that do 240 and stuff. I could play this if I want to do competitive gaming and stuff like that. What I have in my bedroom and stuff, I'm just going to be watching TV and watching movies. I'm not going to be playing games and stuff, because if I do play games in there, I try to on Saturday, my wife almost kicked me in the back of the head because I was loud. But it's just the thing is that I'm not going to be really playing it that much. But when I get the basement done, then that's going to be kind of like the other question. Am I going to buy that TV in the bigger version?
Yeah.
That I don't know. That's
I'm
the only reason I'm
it.
kind of thrown off. But for you, Moan, I think you will. I don't know, Moan. I will say this. I think, Moan, you might be better off getting the LG G1 or even the C1. And so the reason being is because you're more in the gaming, and I will say this, and so I'm not being biased towards either factor, any manufacturer. I think LG has done a better job when implementing when it comes to games than what Sony has done.
Yeah.
And that's and people could dispute this all they want and stuff, but it's the truth, because Sony haven't came out with the VRR on there, but LG has done everything that they possibly can to please the gamers. And that's why I'm saying I think you probably should go with LG. For me, I care about content. I like looking at movies. I want to look at Godzilla versus Kong. I wanted to see it on that screen and stuff like that. Mortal Kombat, I want to see it on that type of screen.
Can't wait,
when it comes when it comes games are secondary for me when it comes to that TV. Like I said, I have a gaming monitor and stuff. I could purely game on that and do that. But for that TV purposes, the majority of the people who are buying Sony TVs, they're not going to be really playing games like they are. They're really gonna be watching movies and stuff. That's just my opinion. Like I said, I could be wrong.
We'll see. Again, I right now I'm attracted to the A90J, and I'm attracted because of your video, Max. I've been looking into it, and then I kind of been watching all the other information and stuff that's out about it, and how it's much better than the G1. But you did help me think about the gaming aspect of it. You know, I was thinking about the picture quality, that I should have looked at it that way, because that makes more sense. Because I will be taking my games, because the TV is still not going to be the main source of my game. I'm still going to be here at my desk, because I have a really decent monitor with all the features in it. It's just that, you know, I am going to want to play on that TV and get that couch experience. You know, and I want to set it up.
And that's what you got to think about.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to set it up to where I'm gonna leave all the proprietary Xbox stuff up here. I just want to get it set up to where I just take the console with me. I'm gonna already have a controller downstairs, you know what I mean, and take the headset with me, and I'm gonna play it out. I'm gonna play downstairs. So,
and here's my other argument with this too, and like I said, people could chew me out all they want. Like I said, I am not knocking Sony for this. I like I said, it's gonna take time for Sony to do this and stuff, but at the same time too, this is why I've been saying, do not buy this TV because of the HDMI 2.1 functionality. I say this all the time and stuff like that. It's still considered as a new technology, even though it's been announced for a very long time. TV manufacturers are just starting to implement this now, and it's going to take some time. The other thing that I want to mention too is that if you're buying this for a gaming TV and stuff like that, no, it's false and stuff like that. And if you're willing to live with it and stuff, I'm willing to live with this at this moment. It's like I love this picture. I want to say I love this picture. Well, yeah, I will say this. I love the picture and the performance of this TV so much that I do not want to give this TV up because of just that fault. That's just my opinion and stuff like that. Everybody has their own opinion and stuff. But it's like for people who are dedicated to gaming and stuff, I will steer them to go to the LG way and stuff because I think they focus more on LG. Don't get me wrong. I think they probably they did a good job with their video and content, but I don't care what anybody says. Sony does a better job when it comes to their processing, when it comes to content.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely.
I don't care what anybody say. You could tell me how much they calibrate stuff, as much as they want and stuff. And there's another thing. I will say this: out of the box, if you take the Sony out of the box, I put them in custom. I didn't change any settings. It looks fantastic. I did not calibrate anything on this TV.
A lot of videos I watch, everybody does everything off a custom with those Sony TVs. Yeah. So I need to learn a little bit more about the picture quality on those things.
And that's the thing is with LG, it takes so much to massage to get to the right picture quality, and that's where people have to realize. I'm not saying that it can look good, but it's going to take work to get to that picture quality because there's so much settings. With Sony, when you take it out of the box, it's only a couple things you need to do with it. Don't get me wrong, you really could dive into it, but Sony has set this TV up for people like myself who could go in and go through a couple settings and stuff, and I'll be like, this looked good to me. And so that's how I feel. And then another thing I do want to mention too about 4K 120 on these consoles. Another thing that I think people need to be aware about with the 4K 120, just know that when it comes to games, I'm not talking about PC, I'm talking about Xbox Series X, and I'm talking about PlayStation 5. When you go to 4K 120, I know it's on certain games like Call of Duty and Destiny, you are losing a lot of that graphical fidelity too when you switch to that version.
It's the same with Spider-Man Miles Morales with the RT60.
But when you go to 120, you really see it and stuff. I noticed there's a lot of things that I have seen on there, and I was like, and stuff like that. So that's another thing I just want to give people the heads up about. Unless you have a PC, a powerful PC, you won't see that much of you won't see the difference when it comes to the graphics wise, because if you have a really powerful PC, you're good. But with these new consoles, it's like they use, and you talked about this before, it's like it's going to take them time to get to that level. And just like right now with the games that they have right now, they losing a lot of their graphical fidelity, like Dirt 5. That's a good example. If somebody posted a video on their HDTV, posted a TV, Vincent did Dirt 5 comparison when you have 4K 120 and regular 4K 60. If you look at the stands on the 4K 120, it was no people in the crowd. But in the 4K 60, you saw all these people in the crowd. So those are kind of like the questions, like, what are you willing to sacrifice? And stuff. So those
for PC, something has to become standard, right? The consoles is pushing this whole auto HDR thing, you know, and you know, the super sampling stuff. So there's still room to improve, even with the PC game and certain features and that type of stuff. So only way you're going to get the full experience is if you have just about everything, you know. And I just tell people all the time, you know, don't try to compare this and say one is better than the other, because all of them have different features. All of them does things differently. And some features are ahead and some are not, but then they make up in other areas. So that's why, you know, I try not to say this is better than that. Now the hype gets real, right? Perfect example, the headsets. Hype was so real about the Xbox headset, you know, and we saying all these good things, but they have all these faults right now until they get it fixed. So you know, so and you could tell that we're a little disappointed with out of the box impressions, but when it works flawlessly. It works amazing. It does everything that Xbox said the headset does. If it works completely through and through, I really believe a lot of the reasons why the folks from off YouTube or whatever haven't talked about it. Maybe they got paid not to say anything bad about it, but somebody's going to come out with the real.
Or it just didn't have enough time to
Well,
to review it and stuff like that.
Mine's happened on day 1. Yours happened on day 2 or 3 or whatever. So
yeah, that's the crazy part. Mine didn't happen on day 1. Everything was flawless on day 1, and day 2 it was just today is Wednesday. It just started to happen today, and I got the headset Thursday. So yeah, I didn't even have the headset for a week and stuff. So that's just kind of like my 2 cents and stuff. So
all right, so the last thing, I do have a couple more articles, but we're running over. But this here is what caught my attention today about GameStop. Now they're finally expanding to PC gaming monitors and TV.
They should have done that a long time. I told you this, Mo. It's just like their whole.
Oh, I already knew this. This is why they're going down. They're not keeping up with what's standard now. They're sticking to their old ways, and it's not working. So I mean that's just all I want to touch on. And I guess this one, right? I did see this today. The insiders can now test Dolby Vision for games. So if you're an Xbox insider, I don't want to talk too much on it. I just saw this right before we got on the podcast. So I don't know if you know anything about it, Max, but this is something that caught my attention. So maybe we'll talk about it on the next podcast a little bit more when we get more information on it.
Yeah,
so,
we can do that.
Yeah. But other than that, that's all I have, man.
Yeah, same for me too.
So
I mean, we talk so much, so yeah.
well, we talk so much about the headset and Jack Snyder. But in Black Widow, I forgot about that. That finally got a date, right?
Yeah, it was July, and no, excuse me, is it July or it's July, and it's coming to streaming
July
services
9th,
too,
and it's going to be $30. So we'll see. We'll see.
Well, I probably might cough that, so I will spend money. Well, the only reason I'm saying that is because
you want to keep up with the series. That's just plain and simple. And Marvel does. They keep their promises when they come up with these movies and the TV shows. I love the Falcon and Winter Soldier first episode. It was amazing. So I can't wait until this Friday for the next one. So I'm looking forward to that. So
yeah.
All right, well, that's all I have for today. I'm Moandogg Gaming, Max Chambliss. Come check our videos out, subscribe and follow to our pages, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right, see you on the next one.